Hi friends, a very warm welcome to all of you. Guys, in this video, I am going to teach you how to integrate the previous year questions of the UPSC examination in your prelims preparation. Guys, you all know that PYQs are very important, and many a times questions which come in the prelims, they are inspired from the PYQs. But if you do not know exactly how to strategically integrate your PYQs in the prelims preparation, then you will not be able to get the maximum of the PYQs. Okay, and here I am going to not only pick up few PYQs, but I am also going to predict what question can come this year inspired from the current events and linking it to the PYQs, so that your mind will open and you will understand, okay, this is the way UPSC thinks, this is the way UPSC frames question. Because at the end you have to solve questions in the examination hall. If you fail to solve questions in the examination hall, then what's the purpose of studying hard? Okay, so let me just show you with one example, and I am going to predict one question which is going to come in this year's prelims examination. High chances, okay, high chances. So please stay till the end, and I am going to link everything in this video. Everything will be linked, and your mind will it will be like a eureka moment for you. Okay, so let's start, guys. So what I have done, that I have picked one theme. I have picked one theme from the UPSC previous year question in the last 5 years only, where UPSC has been asking questions repeatedly, and that theme is important this year also. So I have strong belief that this year also this question is going to be asked in some way or the other. So you need to be better prepared for that. Okay, so let's start, guys. So the question which I have selected, guys, is the question on UN habitat. Okay, there was a question which came in the 2017 prelims on UN habitat. Okay, so suppose you were a candidate who was preparing for 2021 prelims. Okay, 2021 prelims. You see another question came in 2021 related to this. Okay, so I am here not just to solve these questions. I can solve this question in just a second, but I am here to explain you when you solve PYQs, because what I am seeing that, okay, there are a lot of videos on the YouTube on how to solve PYQs and how to apply optional elimination techniques. So obviously, okay, already you must have gone through that. Okay, I have also made 10 techniques where, okay, I have used optional elimination techniques to score one of the highest marks. But today I'm not only going to teach you the optional elimination techniques, I'm going to teach you how to study, and this is going to be like it will open your mind. You will really enjoy this video. Okay, so let us see. Suppose you are preparing for prelims 2021 and you decide to solve the last 5 years question. Okay, so you decided to solve 2017 question also, and in 2017 there was a question on UN habitat. You solved the question. If you got it correct, okay. If you did not get it correct, you just saw the answer. Okay, but if you did not ask, okay, if you ask yourself why this question was asked, in 2017 UN habitat, you will, okay, just by little bit of Google search you will understand that in 2017 UN habitat, okay, UN habitat 3 was held. UN habitat 3 was held, and they adopted new urban agenda. Okay, so this you can get by little bit of Google search only. You will get. If you solve this question, UN habitat, you will definitely get that UN habitat 3 happened in 2016, October 2016, and that is why this question came in 2017. And you will see, if you read little bit of UN habitat 3, you will get to know that new urban agenda was adopted in 2016 end. Okay, so obviously you need to know what is this new urban agenda. So let me just show you. If you do this Google search UN urban agenda, a website will come, UN urban agenda, and in that website you will get something called glossary. Just download that, and no need to come to this site also. If you can just Google's Wikipedia page of UN, if you just go and see the Wikipedia page of new urban agenda, and if you go through this, you will come across that right to city was adopted in this new urban agenda. Okay, but why I am saying that you should, read this also, you should read this glossary also. Why? Because this year's question will come from here. Okay, and I am predicting this. I will frame this question also in my test series, and this is the way I frame questions, and that is the reason why many questions come from my test series. Why? Many people say, sir, what? Are you God? How can you predict future? How can you know that this question is going to come? This is a science behind that. There is a science behind that. I am not someone who has supernatural powers. Okay, let me tell you very frankly. But I am someone who is intelligent, and I have myself applied these concepts, and I have cracked all the 6 prelims with one of the highest marks in the prelims ever scored by any UPSC aspirant. And I know this is the way the people who frame the question, they think like that, because this has been happening for the last many years. Okay, my first attempt was in 2011, where I cleared the prelims in my first attempt, and my last attempt was 2017. This question was from 2017, and I scored around 140 in that paper itself, 2017 paper. So I know, and last 3 years I have been predicting at least 50 to 60 questions, okay, strategically. And I'll tell you how I am going to predict this year question from the UPSC previous year question only. I'm going to do that, and high chances it might come. It might not come also, okay. But this is how you prepare most of the questions, and out of, if you prepare say 300, 400 questions, you will easily get 50 to 60 questions, and the cutoff these days are just 100 marks. Okay, so let me just go forward. What I was explaining to you is that, okay, when you read this new urban agenda, you will get that there is something called right to city, and you will definitely read this right to city. Even in this, okay, document also, glossary, you will see that they have covered right to city. I'll just show you what is that covered here. You can see here. Okay, you see in that document they have covered right to city. Okay, they have covered right to city, and there is like all the rights have been mentioned. In the next page, all the rights are mentioned. This is from the glossary document. But beside this year's prediction, okay, there is another right which is mentioned, right to adequate housing. Right to adequate housing. I'll come to that. This question has not been asked in UPSC. I'll come to that, how this question will be asked, okay, in the coming years. But let us just go back to the question. Let us just go back to the question which I was telling. Okay, so this was a 2017 question. Okay, and after few years, you see, in 2021 they asked right to city, and many of the candidates who took the 2021 prelims, okay, they were not able to solve this question because they were either not aware of that, and it was not very widely covered that year in that current affairs. You can go and you can download the PDFs of 2021 of any initiative in the country. You will see that it was not widely covered. Okay, no one could predict that this is going to definitely come. Okay, this is going to definitely come. Okay, because it was not very prominent. Why it was not very prominent? Because it was something which happened in 2016. So if you solve these PYQs, then you will definitely read about UN Habitat 3. When you read about UN Habitat 3, you will definitely read about the new urban agenda. And when you read about new urban agenda, you are going to read about the right to city. You are definitely going to read the right to city. Okay, but here also let me tell you how the questions are framed. Okay, if you read the options, the options are, okay, framed in a very typical manner. If you see, the options here are framed in a very typical manner. Okay, it is very difficult to solve this question, okay, if you have not read the source from which this question has been framed, because I am going to show you the source, how UPSC examiner is framing the question. I am going to prove this, and this video is going to get viral. Among the UPSC community, because this has never been shared by anyone ever in the UPSC field. Okay, just let me read the options. And let me show you how UPSC is framing questions. Okay, let us just read the options. The right to city is an agreed human right, and UN Habitat monitors the commitments made by each country in this regard. Okay, so it says that right to city is a human right, and UN Habitat monitors the commitments made by every country. The second option says the right to city gives every occupant of the city right to claim public places and participate in the city. The third option says that right to city means that The state cannot deny any public service or facility to unauthorized colony in the city. Unauthorized colonies in the city. Okay. So, okay, if you read this Wikipedia page also, let us try to read this Wikipedia page also. Okay, there is nothing mentioned about unauthorized colonies. Specifically, it has not been mentioned. It has just been mentioned that everyone will have the equal access to the services in the cities. Okay, it is just mentioned that unauthorized colonies, the word has not been mentioned. Okay, so what was the controversy? Let me just show you that year. Okay, if you have read the Indian Express article in 2016, if you just Google search, okay, UN Habitat 3, okay, the Indian Express article will come at the top. Okay, Indian Express article will be coming at the top. This was the 2016 article because the question came in 2017. You can read here UN Habitat and the draft new urban agenda, the contentious clause. What was this contentious clause? Because India was opposing the right to city. India was opposing the right to city. And why India was opposing the right to city? Because, okay, in this right to city event, the unauthorized colonies will have the equal stake in the services. Okay, you can see here, I'll just read out in that article. In that article, what was written was, you see here, India has opposed the inclusion of right to city on the ground that its admission would mean that the country would have to adhere to the principle of social justice for all urban habitants and not just merely legally recognized citizens. So, okay, not just legally recognized citizens, even all habitants will have the right. And why India was, that is why India was opposed to it. But I'll just show you the exact statement from 2016 article. The question was framed in 2019. Just you see how. You read here, right to education makes the state's duty to ensure that children in schools acknowledging the right to city means that state can no longer deny shelter or provisions of services such as water to those living in unauthorized slums. Unauthorized slums. And who has spoken this word in 2016? Okay, Chandana Das, the Indian chapter of Global Right to City Movement. 2016. You can see here, this statement is not there. This statement is not there even in the legal document, okay, which I was talking to you about. I was giving you this document. Okay, just I will show you. This is the Wikipedia page. Here also this statement is exactly, it has not been mentioned. Exactly, it has not been mentioned, and that is why, okay, if you see this glossary also does not exactly use the word unauthorized colonies, and that is why most of the coaching institutes who came out solutions that year, okay, they did not exactly, they gave that it may be, this answer may be, okay, but because if you have not read this, okay, the news item from the Indian Express, okay, you see 2016 Indian Express, okay, so you'll say, sir, how to read 2016 Express in 2023, okay, just you Google search, okay, what I am seeing that the top articles, the Hindu, the Indian Express, whatever the top articles, they are just picking from the top articles, and I can prove you by many examples. I'll prove you by many examples. Okay, I'll just read another. You just read. Okay, India's opposition to right to city stems from the fact that admitting such right would mean that it would have to adhere to the principle of social justice for not just merely legally recognized citizens but also all urban inhabitants. Further, you see another statement also, the first statement also is mentioned here. You can see here. Okay, you can see here. He added, besides right to city, the other major sticking point in the run-up to the UN Habitat 3 is the role of UN Habitat in monitoring the commitments made by each country. A recent review of the commitments made by all the countries during the Habitat 2 in Istanbul 1996 shows that in the absence of any monitoring mechanism and due to non-binding nature of the commitment, the overall UN Habitat Commitments Index score has increased only 1.49. This means what? This means what? That it is not binding. It is not binding. So obviously the first statement, okay, it is not binding, okay. So obviously the first statement, okay, if you see the first statement here, okay, you can see here the first statement. I'll just show you the first statement here. Okay, you can let us now read this answer. Now let us try to solve this answer after this After this, all this information, let us try to solve this answer. Okay, let us read the first statement. Let us read the first statement. You can see a right to city is an agreed human right, and UN Habitat monitors commitment made by each country in this regard. This is incorrect. Just now we have read that, okay, it is not legally binding on every country to come out with right to city. Okay, it is not legally binding. Okay, so obviously this statement is incorrect. Okay, the second statement, right to city gives every occupant the right to claim public spaces. Obviously this is correct. And third statement, right to city means that state cannot deny any public services to facilities to the unauthorized colonies in the city. You see, directly picked from the Indian Express 2016 article. Directly picked from Indian Express 2016 article. So if you have not done the backward and forward linkage with the topic, because you see what question came in 2017? Question came 2017 what? UN Habitat. So if you are preparing in 2021, you will see UN Habitat. Why this question UN Habitat came in 2017? You will just do Google search, you will get to know that UN Habitat 3 was held. What was the outcome? Outcome was what? New urban agenda. What is this new urban agenda? You go to the Wikipedia page, you get what? Right to city. Or you read some Hindu article or Indian Express article, you will get, okay, that UN Habitat, right to city, some controversy was there. India was opposing right to city. So obviously India was opposing right to city, means right to city becomes important. Why is India opposing right to city? We have to read it. Obviously it becomes very important. And you see, after just 2 years, they ask right to city. After just 2 years, they ask right to city. Now you see how things are related. How things are related. Okay. So UPSC paper setters, they put a lot of thought while framing the questions. Every question has a story behind. Every question has a reasoning behind. Why is this question being asked that year itself? There is a reason. And the day you start discovering this reason, why this question is being asked, you will be able to get through prelims very easily, because you will be able to predict most of the questions. So guys, these two questions I have just shown you. Now I am going to predict what question can come in future. Might be 2023, might be 2024, might be 2025. Civil Services 2025 prelims. But this question is going to come. Let me tell you very frankly. And what is that? What is that? So this year guys, there is a news item in the last 1 year which is very much in news in the last 1 year. This is the Optima notes I have covered. Okay, in Optima notes I have covered this year's 2023 prelims Optima notes. Prelims Optima notes. I hope you all know what is prelims Optima notes. It is the most important topic notes for that year prelims examination. I come out with this every year. Okay. So this year there is one topic which is directly linked from this UN Habitat, which is right to adequate housing. Guys, this year you know, okay, that this action against the stone pelters, where the various state governments went on to bulldoze the house of the stone pelters. Okay, of the stone pelters, and that time a lot of articles came in the newspaper, the Hindu newspaper, the Indian newspaper, criticizing this move, that this is what against the rule of law, and this is against the human right, which is the right to adequate housing. You see here, I have covered this topic. Demolition drive violates the international law. What is that international law? That is right to adequate housing. This is right to adequate housing, which is a human right. Which is a human right. You can see here I have covered international human rights, UDHR, International Covenant of Economic and Social Cultural Rights. And guys, this is there in the new urban agenda also. Let me just show you. This glossary is there. Let me just show you guys. Yeah, you can see here, right to adequate housing. Just beside the right to city, right to adequate housing. This is from what? The glossary of new urban agenda. New urban agenda. Now you see how you have to think, how you have to prepare. Everything is linked. Okay, each and every question which UPSC is asking, how these things are linked and how future questions can be asked on the same theme. Okay, so when you prepare the PYQs, okay, you have to link with what you are studying now. For example, I hope you must have studied this news item that there was a lot of criticism that this is violating the rule of law, this is violating the natural principle of justice, because if you are going and bulldozing the house without giving them proper time to reply, proper time to justify, okay, this is a violation of rule of law or natural principle of justice. Okay, so this can come in the examination. This is a very important thing which was in news in the last 1 year. Okay, the point is what? The point is how you have to think, and how you have to utilize the previous year questions. So guys, how many of you, okay, knew this way of thinking, and had solved these two questions and knew that why this question was asked, why right to city was asked? Right to city was asked because India was opposing right to city, because it was giving access to the unauthorized colonies also. And you see, in the last 1 year, these unauthorized colonies and removal of people from these unauthorized colonies, it went to Supreme Court also. Many cases, okay, went to Supreme Court also, and there was some stay also. You see how things can be linked. Right to adequate housing. Okay, so guys, I hope you understood. Okay, this item you can go and read from the Optima notes. You can go to my channel, Telegram channel, Ask Santosh Sir, Optimize IAS. You can go and you can see this. You can see this item. Okay, demolition drive violates international law, which is right to adequate housing. I covered last year only in my DPN. You see how I think, and that's the reason I'm able to predict so many questions. So guys, thank you, bye bye, take care, and please share this video with all UPSC aspirants who are preparing for the prelims, not just this year, even 2024, because this question can come in 2024 also. You see how right to city, although in news in 2016, UPSC did not choose to ask question in 2017, it asked just UN habitat, and in 2021 they asked right to city. Similarly, right to adequate housing can come. Okay, not this year, might be next year, next to next year, but it is going to come. Let me be very frank, it is going to come. Okay, so guys, if you want such videos, more such videos, okay, please comment in the comment box, and please tell, okay, please let me know that, okay, how was my approach, how was my thinking, how did I link things, and how did I, okay, trace the question, from where is UPSC asking this question. And you can do, these things are there online. You can go and you can search yourself. You'll get to know that Indian Express article, 2016 article, and the 2017 paper and 2021 paper, and the 2023 paper which is going to come. And let us see, let us wait and watch 2023, 2024. This question is going to come, let me tell you very frankly, because UPSC, okay, has a pattern of asking questions. One more announcement. Okay, this year, this coming Sunday, my first polity test is the Optima test is going to happen. I am including all the 100 questions which are important for this year's polity. All the 100 questions. I have framed these questions. It's very analytical, very conceptual question. I can guarantee you after taking that test, you will feel the difference in your preparation. You will feel the difference. You will get get an insight into how to prepare. Okay, because test should be framed in such a manner that you learn something out of it, not just, okay, you whatever. See, test is not about just knowing where you are. The test should, okay, improve you. The test should improve you also, not just where you are. It should take you one notch above from where you are. And I can tell you, Optima test is going to do that. And in future also, if you want these videos to come, okay, please let me know. Please share this video with your friends. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.